Hey guys and girls, welcome back to another exciting episode of All About Life. In today's segment, I have a guest.
Jonathan Tavares.
He's my boy. We've been best friends for over 10 years, over a decade of friendship, which is probably the best thing you can have when you have relationships with people in general. But as you guys know, I normally like talking about those topics, but usually with the men and women. So we're going to give you a nice little treat today. What are we going to talk about, Jonathan?
We're going to talk about dynamics of relationships, past and present, and how that dynamic has changed and certain scripts have flip-flopped.
Oh, and they have flip-flopped a whole lot. As you guys know, men and women, sometimes the roles are reversed. You got the women acting like the dudes and you got the dudes acting like the bitches. But anyways, we're going to get right into it. So, Jonathan, how are we going to start this video?
Let's talk about, relationships in the past, how it started, and how they transformed over time.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so guys, as you all know, in yesteryears, especially in our parents' or grandparents' lifetime, things were much different, okay? We're talking about the dynamics between a man and a woman. The laws were also different, so laws in the United States kind of benefited men overall. Now, women have their own rights in certain, perspectives or respectives, but there were limitations, okay? So men and women back then, women were the ones that needed to be court. They needed to be the ones that had to be brought out of their families to go into their own family with a man. However, with that happening, it only occurred based on the men. So the men normally selected the women, and then that's how you kind of had that unison. If a guy was interested in a girl, he would pursue her, let her know that he's interested, meet the family, go through all those little, tribulations in order to get the trust of the woman and the family, and then since he was the breadwinner, because that was a whole different financial situation, now as we all know, anyone could work, anyone can make money, but back then, men were the breadwinners. They had higher wages. The man was the one who usually selected the type of girl he wanted, and of course, had to earn the bread, had to make sure that he was down for the family and down for her, and that was his responsibility. Her role was just simply taking care of the children, taking care of the household, and if she did work, it was the type of job that really didn't, it was like extra revenue. But primarily the man was the one working the full shifts, the 8, 12 hours, whatever it was, while the woman would be working part-time, earning a small amount of wage, or like I said, just at home or with her family, taking care of things around the house or children. Anything you want to add on that?
You touched on it exactly on point. But actually, the women back in the day, they were more feminine. They were more into being housewives. They pride themselves in being good mothers, being good teachers, just molding the family structure. They pride themselves in having that. But nowadays, it has transformed. It's not as important to them as it was before.
Okay, so again, what Jonathan is just basically touching up on is that women's roles were pretty much set, as in that their roles were to be who they were, at least what society associated them to be, which was feminine. Feminine meaning that they were the nurturers. They used to nurture the children, and including nurturing the man if the man came home tired from work. She would have that responsibility to make sure that he feels good and he was relaxed so that he can go to work the next day.
Have dinner ready for him, take care of the children, make sure the children are developing themselves socially, playing around with other kids.
Homeschooling. Things were way more connected because the mom would always be in the children's lives. So you would always grow up, as a child, you would grow up with that stability because your mother was teaching you right before you go to school. You had the homeschooling from your mom. And then your dad would come home from work and then you would have that bond with your father. But the mother was always hands-on. That was her role in a relationship. She wasn't the coach. She wasn't independent. She wasn't out on her own, making her own money, doing her own thing. So that was a structure. Back then we had structure, we had a certain way of living, and what was good about it was there was order. And I know some people, you might feel offended by that, but order is important in order to continue to grow and move forward in life. When you have no order, you're all scrambled, you don't know where to go, left or right, up or down, you just don't know what to do, and everyone's just figuring out what's their roles in society. What can I do? Should I go get a job? Should I get a career? Should I make something of myself? Should I start my own business? A lot of women are looking into just selling themselves or opening up all these websites to make money, you know, cam and all of this stuff. So things are scrambled. There is no direction.
How do you feel like the feminist movement has changed the dynamics of relationships? You know, feminists as in empowering women just taking what they want, being more independent, saying that they don't need any man, all this other stuff, you know.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're all born alone and we will die alone. In that sense, you know, you're born and you're gonna die. But when it comes down to it, back then we had that structure. Now, because of, like he said, we have a lot of feminists and we have all this empowerment for women, which is good to an extent, because I'm not gonna lie, you women were mistreated. A lot of men took advantage of you. Back then, I know if we were talking about the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, a lot of yous were housewives and not treated the greatest because you were looked as less. And that's not the way I want to view any relationship. You're not less than a man, but you're not greater than a man. And that's the problem with today's society. I feel that roles have drastically reversed. And at this point, women have a tendency to feel as if they're greater than the men because they have more value through the sexual market, which is a whole nother conversation. But in my opinion, the movement helped and hurt our current society, especially through social media. Social media has been a blessing in multiple ways. Businesses can flourish. There's a lot of things that you can accomplish. But when it comes down to relationships and the type of para bonding that used to exist, it's almost non-existent these days.
It's like we were discussing earlier today. We were discussing how some people are in a relationship now out of convenience instead of, you know, actually loving each other. And like actual feelings, building a family, they're more out of a convenience or a necessity for that person.
Absolutely. I mean, right now you have celebrities that technically get fucked over. You know, you have a stripper, a porn star, get with a celebrity. No offense, Drake. But, you know, you'll get with them, they'll fuck and then have a child by you. And guess what? Now some of your money will always be in their pockets. So they secured the bag. Ladies and gentlemen, this term, the bag, means that they will go after whatever it takes to get money. And residual income is the best way. So having a child by someone that has money is a way for a woman to secure the bag. Women selling themselves is a way to secure the bag. Women using social media for fan services and all these little, you know, lewd pictures or completely naked, fucking themselves type of commodities, that's securing the bag. So it sucks because relationships, like he just said, kind of took a major hit because if a woman is with a man, not saying all you women, there's still a lot of women out there that have some respect for themselves, but the ones that don't, you know who you are. You're all about what you can get versus actual love. You know, this idea, this fairy tale, like, oh, I could meet my Prince Charming and fall in love with them. Yeah, that went out the window years ago.
Yep. I know, like you said, they turned it into a business opportunity because, like they say, love doesn't pay the bills, but it's no excuse. It's no excuse, man. It's just sad the type of position that we in right now, because the role, like you said, the roles have flip flop. Guys are now becoming they're more pursuing the women now, but the women have become less emotionally attached.
Correct. Back then, women used to be the emotional creatures, the ones that used to pursue men as far as once they build a bond, the woman was always reaching out to that guy because it was like, you know, I love you, I care for you, I have all these emotions for you. But now, because of a lot of women kind of cutting those bonds out of their way and essentially their feelings, they're able to kind of change the dynamics of who pursues who and who does what. Now, there are men, which you guys, as you know, I talk about alphas and betas. There are alphas out there that will continue pursuing their own goals and doing them. Essentially, they're not worried about all these things that I'm talking about at this point. Do they want to start a family? Most of them, no. Do they want all these little perks of love and all that bullshit? No. They could care less about love. They care about securing their future, fucking, and enjoying their life. That's it. In fact, being in a relationship for a lot of these alpha males are considered minus, as in a no-go. Mm-hmm. These men will not marry you. They will not even allow you to be in a relationship with you. They will just have you around when they want a piece of the action. That's about it.
That's true. And we were discussing also the dual mating strategies for the female now. They secure resource from a certain guy, secure physical attraction from another guy, secure, I guess, a ride from the other guy, the person that has the car.
Yep, they got the whip.
Travel buddy.
Don't forget their talking buddy, the guy,
the emotional
tampon that's always there, readily available. She feels a certain type of way. She hits up the guy, FaceTimes, or just talks over the phone or texts or whatever the situation is. And she'll spend hours and hours with this one guy, but having no intentions of building with them. It's just for her to feel better.
Meeting up with him in person.
Yeah, or meeting up with him in person, which is the sad part because a lot of people these days, specifically women and men in that sense, but the women, you already know what it is. You already know you have guys for certain roles. In your mind, you categorize guys based on what you need in your life. If you need some guy for dick, you already got the guy for dick. If you have a guy that you want to build that relationship and that boyfriend type of bond, you get that guy. If you want the guy just to keep you entertained, you got that guy. You got the circus clown. So, you women have kind of manipulated your situation so that it benefits you in this type of society because of the roles being reversed.
Like I said, they on a top position now. They're dealing from a position of strength. So now they're securing certain guys for certain roles. Like we said, you had the food guy, the guy that she calls to go to different restaurants, the travel buddy, Nimbus, however you want to call it. It's Dragon Ball. It's just sad because a lot of these women will string these guys along, give them false hope of either a relationship or if things getting physical, which she has no intentions of doing.
No.
In her mind, she already knows, guys. She's playing you. I'm looking deep into the camera. I'm looking deep into your soul. She's playing you. Just whenever you think she's playing you, she probably is, bro.
Yeah. You don't have to be Charles Xavier to figure that out. At the end of the day, when you're pursuing a person, you can tell when they have genuine interest because things will naturally flow, guys. Remember, I said that in a previous video. You won't have to force yourself on the woman. You won't have to try hard. You won't have to do any of those things. She will want to be with you if she desires you in that way.
Let's touch on social media.
Okay.
When you see her posting another guy, posting quotes about another guy, doing all these other things.
It ain't about you.
Yeah. That's for sure. There's a lot of strategies that they use to get you to behave how they want you to.
Correct. And if they're feeling a certain type of way, they will do it for attention. They'll post up selfies, they'll post up statuses so that a lot of you beta men can go on there, oh baby, you deserve better, don't worry, I will take care of you, mwah, 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 mwah. I love you, baby, you're so beautiful.
And like we were discussing, if you're not the guy that's on top of her list, she can always cut you. She's like, oh, you're not with the program? Okay, we're looking for another actor. You're not the main actor in this movie.
Sorry, you filled out your job application.
You're a side actor. You're a side
I'm cutting you out.
You're supporting role.
Yeah. That's the problem. So men that want to establish some type of relationship with women, in these days, you have to pursue whatever your goals are. Fuck going after the women. Yes, talk to women. If you see a girl that you like, approach her, talk to her, get her number, but get straight to the point, fellas. Get straight to the point. If she's not with the program, move on. Because the problem is that right now, women, like Jonathan said, are operating from a different type of level. They're operating already here. Because you look at their DMs, it's incredible. They get hit on average 20, 30, 40 times a day. Some women get hit on more depending on how appealing she is.
And
so
guys get used to the strategy, guys, because it's only gonna get worse from here.
Correct.
We just telling you before you're ahead of the curve. We're giving you the game so you can be ahead of the curve. It's gonna keep getting worse and worse, guys.
You have to be ready. And women that want a good guy or a decent guy, you have to understand that now you have all these options. You're going to have to make better decisions because this video is not just for men. It's also for you ladies. You have to realize that even though you have 100 guys in your DMs and you have so many people that want to be with you or want to have sex with you, you have to start determining who's worth it. And I don't mean necessarily worth it from I'm going to take advantage of them. And I'm talking about the good girls out there. I'm not talking about the thoughts. You thoughts, be gone. But anyways, outside of that, I'm talking about you women that have some decency and that you want a family, you want to start something serious. Out of those 100 guys, or who knows, make sure that you really take a good look at who you're messing with. Because a lot of guys, like I said, will look at you, they'll try to go into your DMs, they'll sweet talk you, and then they'll try to get the pussy, and then they're out.
It's also like we were talking about before. Like, imagine having a kid with a partner you don't like. You're going to have to deal with this person for the rest of your life, whether you're a male or a female.
And then when you do meet a guy that might be suitable for you, you have baggage. And yes, I know a lot of you might not like that term. Having a child, especially when the other man does not have a child, does put a burden on the relationship. On the relationship. We're not going to say the child is, terrible or anything. No, the child is beautiful. It's good to have more life on this planet. But at the end of the day, try to have children with people you're gonna stay with. And a lot of you women, you know when a guy's not right for you, but you'll end up tying him down by having his kid, or you'll have the kid because you're in this disillusional state that he'll change. My nigga or my niggerette, he will not change. Like, guys do not change for you, or men that are a certain way for a reason. Please get that geared in your head, because if a guy's treating you a certain way, maybe he was hurt before, or maybe he's just that nigga. Like, maybe he's just that type of guy that just wants to get his and move forward. And if you're willing to keep giving him and throwing him the pussy, he'll accept it. Why not? It's still in his game.
It's like he was saying, if a guy cheated on you once or twice, you gave him one too many chances at this point. It's like, guys have to have a traumatic experience to be willing to change, and it has to be something within themselves.
Yeah.
Nothing that you could do. There's no magical button. Just like there's no magical button I can say to make you fall in love.
To make you fall in love with us. Because,
it's a process.
Yeah, because right now if you're emotionally disconnected and you're, let's say, still thinking about someone else like an ex, if I come into the picture and you're like, oh, I like Anthony, you might like me. You might like me. You might think I'm handsome, cute. I got some gains out here. I got some muscles. But you might like me because of what I do. But at the end of the day, your heart is with someone else and your feelings are with someone else. So it's going to be very hard for you and I to bond, because at the end of the day, you're not ready for that type of commitment because you're still committed to someone else. And unfortunately, you might be committed to someone that's not worth your commitment.
Touching up on that, like, a lot of you women try to bring in baggage from the ex relationship into the new one. Give everybody a clean slate. You guys will want a clean slate with the guy. You guys will want him to turn the page. So give us a fair chance, to get to know each other, to get to build something, see if it's worth it. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be worth it because I don't know the future, but let's see where it goes. Let's see how compatible are we,
And once you get to know a guy, what's important is, since we're such in a scrambled state of a community, of a society, you need to establish order between you and the guy that you're with. So you women, establish what you want out of each other so that you guys can have some kind of game plan. Go in the relationship with the game plan. When you're dating, don't worry about that. Get to know one another, get to know your options, whatever the case is. But when you get serious with someone, you need to come up with a plan, because right now everyone's going over haywire. Like I said, you women are so empowered, you think you could do it all. And some of you can do some more. You can do some stuff, but there has to be order in any relationship for it to flourish, for it to grow, and for it to actually have stability for family or for kids, whatever the case may be.
Also, women, communicate what you guys want. We not mind readers. Don't throw out subliminals on social media. It's better to put us to the side, call us on the phone, talk to us in person, communicate what you want. Let us know if we not meeting all your needs.
And what you actually want, because there's a difference of telling us one thing and meaning another, and we all know what that BS is all about. So if you are interested in a person, make sure that you communicate your needs and your wants, because the same way that person should communicate theirs, you need to do the same.
Yeah, whether that's like physical, emotional, whether that's attention, whether you want us to call you once a day, as an example, or you need to communicate with the person a few times a day. That's something simple you guys can fix.
Yeah, and everyone's different. Everyone has their own needs and wants, and you guys have to communicate. That's a very important tool to use in any relationship. But as you know, again, yesteryears, there was order. Now there isn't. Everyone is a free-for-all special. So
there's a bigger market with the introduction of Tinder, Facebook, all these dating apps. There's hundreds of new dating apps coming out every day.
Which is why a lot of you women are cold. A lot of you women are now used to just fucking guys and moving over. Fuck men. Basically, fuck niggas, get money. While men used to have this fuck bitches, get money, it's reversed. And a lot of men, ironically, are trying to seek relationships, but it's very difficult to seek a relationship with a woman that is not emotionally ready for that, because she's thinking on what men would want.
She's emotionally detached already before you're even dealing with her.
And
so you guys are dealing with an uphill battle to begin with.
And another thing, which I'm not going to touch too much up on this, a lot of you women, you have to be careful. Having sex with so many guys will really hurt you, and it'll hurt you in the sense that it'll be harder for you to build a true connection with someone, and a connection that can build love, that can build all these factors that can lead to a family. Because as we all know, a lot of people are having kids out of wedlock. A lot of individuals are having children just to tie down someone, like I said, celebrities. A lot of people are targeting people with success and whatnot, and that's just not coming out of a genuine state of mind. That's just coming for the bag.
But that could also be like a lot of these women are having kids with the alpha, but the alpha is sometimes not the best family man to have. The alpha's gonna be focused on himself and the purpose. The kid is secondary or the third on his list.
Shit, and the guy may not even have a purpose. He may be alpha by characteristic, but he's just a thug or someone that's a lowlife.
So ladies, that like you having a kid is not gonna hold them down. It's not gonna keep them there. So that strategy will not work for you.
And it'll mess your relationships with other men.
Yep. Because
other men will look at that and say, you know what, I'm not going to take this girl seriously. And believe me, a lot of men do think that way. I know some of you think, oh, I'll just find another man to get with them later on. It's not that simple. As you get older, you'll realize that guys, yes, there will be guys that will get with you, but you'll notice so many short-term relationships with other men because they don't want your child. Just because your child is beautiful and is another life on this planet doesn't mean that we want them. We want our kids. We like to fuck and create our own families, not have and start from someone else's family.
Like Anthony was saying, it closes a lot of opportunities for them already to begin with. Guys will have fun with you. They'll indulge in sex with you, but they won't.
And they'll tell you whatever you want to hear. They'll make you think that they're in love with you. They'll treat you a certain way just to get what they want, and then they'll cut out or they'll play games, and the games won't be fun for you. So that is the gist of it, guys and girls. I hope you like this video. We will do more like this. We gotta cut this a little short because there's other things I want to talk about in a future video. But anyways. This is my boy Jonathan in the house, you know.
I'll be more videos coming up.
Yep, and he's going to have his own channel and his own stuff, so I'll leave it in the link below once he starts having stuff going on. And like I said, you know, this is a place where you guys can come and women can come and talk about social issues. It's all about life. This channel is all about the things that go on with our own lives, personal lives, and other individuals that you may know that may be going through a struggle. But anyways, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video. Please share it. That would help a lot. And do not forget to sub. This channel is very new and I can definitely use all those subs. Thank you for watching. And as always, this channel is all about you.